What is up, Project MoshPit? PokeaimMD here, and today I got a Gen 4 UU match versus my boy TonyFlygon. Let's get right into it because it's a really long match. I'm bleeding off of my Quillfish. He's going to bleed off with his Ambipom. I don't want to lose my Focus Sash just yet, so I'm going to go out into my Hitmontop just to take the Fake out. Takes it pretty well with the Intimidate, and now right here I was fearing him to U-turn out, so I decided to just go right for the Mach Punch, as he actually turns out to switch into his Venusaur just to take that. So I can't stay in. I'm fearing the possible Sleep Powder, and I don't want my Spinner going to sleep. So I'm actually going to go out into my Venusaur just in case he also goes to the Leech Seed, because that was also an option. Ends up going for a knockoff, so this is actually a custom set that Tony made, and actually turns out to be really good. So I'm going to go for the substitute right here, knowing he probably can't break my sub with any attack he goes for. Ends up going for the Sludge Bomb that isn't going to break my sub in one hit, and now I'm free to go for the Sleep Powder just to put this Venusaur to sleep, since I want to be able to switch into something else to be able to set up in it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch out, as this Venusaur is asleep, into my Quillfish right here, and I'm going to go for my first layer of spikes, since they are very important. I have one Pokemon in my team that can potentially sweep, so I want it to I want as many hazards as possible. So I leave in my Quillfish right here just to take the Fake out. I don't really know why at the time. What was I thinking? But now I'm gonna go into my Hitmontop, knowing that I can easily take the double hit with the Intimidate damage, and I am max defense, max HP, so I will be able to take that pretty well. Now right here, I was predicting him to switch directly into his Venusaur, as opposed to U-turning like he should have done the first turn when I was predicting that. But no, he predicts me really well. He goes for that U-turn as I switch into my Blaziken, and I can't do anything about that because he is able to U-turn out into his Milotic right here. So I can't stay in, I can't OHKO at that range of HP, so I'm actually going to switch into my Quillfish, as he was either fearing the Thunder Punch or predicting the switch, so he went into his Rotom Wash. So I'm going to go into my Special Wall Altaria, knowing I can easily wall this thing. Like I said, I am a Special Wall, and if it's the Life Orb variant, which it does turn out to be, I can phase it away. So hits me with a Shadow Ball. Unfortunately for me, he does get a Spadef drop, but that's still not going to be enough for this Thunderbolt to be able to KO me, and I am going to be able to phase him away with the Roar. Unfortunately for me, I do roar him out into Blaziken. Now, normally Altaria does wall Blaziken to an extent, unless they carry the Stone Edge, but at this range of HP, I can't take any hit. I'm figuring he's going to go for the Superpower right here, since it is the most accurate move. He could probably throw at me if he is the mixed variant with Fire Blast and Superpower. So I'm going to go out into my Hitmontop just to take that Superpower, get off and Intimidate. I still don't take that well because Blaziken is a powerhouse, and now I was fearing him to predict me not to Mach Punch and to stay in and go for the Fire Blast, so I went right for that Mach Punch, but he does predict this pretty well. Goes back out into his Venusaur just to, what's it called, waste sleep turn. Sorry, my Gen 4, my mind isn't on Gen 4 anymore, it's still on Gen 5. So right here, he's actually going to double switch into his Registeel, as I switch into my Altaria, figuring this was the best chance for me to try and roost off the damage he got on me with the Shadow Ball and Thunderbolt. So this is actually a pretty good switch to me. I'm not fearing anything this Registeel can go for. If it does carry the Thunder Wave or Toxic, I do have Natural Cure, so I can always switch out. So he's going to end up laying up his Stealth Rocks, as I am able to roost off the damage. And now I want to weaken this Registeel really to a good point, where my last Pokemon, which is a Mismagius, I'm going to tell you right now, I was trying to hide this Mismagius that I'm going to reveal late game. That way I can eventually sweep with it. So I go for the Earthquake. It does nothing to his Registeel. I'm just going to repeatedly Roost and Earthquake versus this Registeel. Like I said, I do want as much damage as possible on this thing, so I go for another Earthquake. It's bringing down this, it's slowly wearing down this Registeel, as he is going to be able to Thunder Wave me right here, which is going to slow down my Altaria, but like I said, I can easily just switch out and have my Natural Cure take effect, so that way this paralysis, wow, sorry guys, I always mess up on that word for some reason, this paralysis, or yeah, this paralysis will go away. So right here I'm going to go for the Roost, as he actually ends up switching out into his Venusaur, which again is fine by me. Now I'm fearing him to wake up and knock off my my leftovers, which I don't want him to do, so I'm actually going to switch into my Quillfish, figuring this is the great opportunity to set up on this thing. So right here I'm actually going to go for the Thunder Wave, because I want to potentially get some paralyzation going on. That's again paralysis going on, Parahacks going on. So he is going to be able to break through it this turn, going to hit me with a power up, going to take me down really low. I am able to get up another layer of spikes, and unfortunately for him, he gets paralyzed. And I'm going to say this right now, this is one of many paralyzes that he's gonna get. So I get up my third layer spikes as he actually switched into his Rotom Wash, predicting me to explode. But these aren't my sets. This is actually Nick's set, Super Blaz, Sav. So I don't have it. He's gonna knock me out with the Shadow Ball. I'm free to go into my Scarf Blaziken. I'm pretty sure he's gonna stay in, so I'm just gonna go for the Overheat to be able to knock him out. He was fearing me to predict his switch into my Milotic and go for the Thunder Punch, but little did Tony know my Blaziken for some reason has 2 overheats where it should have Thunder Punch. It has overheat, hidden power something, and super power, so that's really gonna hurt me in this match. So I go into my Altaria versus Blaziken. He misses a Fire Blast. We both agreed it did not matter, as you'll see from some damage later on. I know he's gonna switch, gonna go for that Roar as he ends up switching into his Ambipom. It's always good to get that spike damage on that Ambipom, since that thing is a pretty big threat to my team, since those fake outs and double hits do hurt everything I have. So I roar him out into Venusaur. Again, I don't want to get a knockoff, so I'm gonna switch into my Hitmontop right here as he gets paralyzed. Now right here, he did predict this switch. He did go for the Sludge Bomb as he told me, but I calced it. I had a better chance of living the Sludge Bomb at that range of HP with my EV spread than him killing me, so that may or may not have mattered. But in either case, he's able to take me down pretty low with this Sludge Bomb. He's gonna get near max damage, and he's gonna get the poison, which is gonna be able to take out my Hitmontop. So doesn't really matter to me. I'm gonna go out into my Blaziken. I know he has Milotic on his team, but I can't do anything about that. Like, I could go for the superpower, but it wouldn't 2-hit KO this Milotic after the defense drop. So I'm actually going to go for the Overheat again, as he was predicting that. But like I said, I don't have Thunder Punch. I really wish I did. I had Hidden Power or something, but this isn't my Sav, so I have no idea what Hidden Power that was. So now I'm going to switch out into my Venusaur, figuring he's just going to go for the Recover. And I want to try and get off either a Leech Seed or a Substitute, predicting a switch. He doesn't know that I don't have a Grass Stab move at the time. It's actually a Sub-Seed, Sleep, Sludge Bomb. So it has, wow, Sub-Seed, Sleep, Sludge Bomb, 4 S's. But in any case, he's going to switch into his Venusaur as I go for the Substitute, predicting a switch. And now what I want to do is try and wear him down to as much as possible with the Sludge Bomb before he can Synthesis up. Maybe get some Parahax going on. But yeah, I do get the Parahax right here. And I'm actually gonna switch out into my Blaziken, knowing he's gonna go for the Synthesis. This is the great chance to get the free switch into my Blaziken, because I'm not fearing the Sludge Bomb right here, as he does go for the Synthesis. Now again, I have to go for the Overheat. I have, like, I think, how much does Overheat have? 8 PP, so I have 16 PP of Overheat. Unfortunately, not Thunder Punch, so I can't predict anything. So he is gonna predict my Overheat again. I didn't tell him till after the battle, I believe, but again, like I said, I didn't have Thunder Punch because Overheat is abundant in my Blaziken. So I'm actually going to switch out into my Altaria, because looking at his team structure, I don't believe that he has Ice Beam on this Altaria, since he does have Registeel and a few other Pokemon on this team to be able to handle this. So I'm actually going to go for the Roar right here, just to rack up with the hazard damage, trying to get his Registeel in, because again, I do have Miss Magius on my team, Miss Magius, and I'm trying to save that for late game. I'm avoiding going into that thing at all costs until all his Pokemon are weakened to the point where I can sweep with that. So right here, I roar him out into Venusaur. I don't want to take a knockoff. Gonna go out into my own Venusaur, since it already knocked off its leftovers, predicting that knockoff, as he does do just that. And I'm gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. That's the best thing I can do. Unfortunately, I'm not like the Sword Dance variant, so I can't Earthquake or do anything like that, which might do more, considering this one is more especially defensive than it is physically defensive. So I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb again. I need this Venusaur at a low amount of HP, as to where any other Pokemon can revenge kill it. Unfortunately, he does go for the Synthesis right here, and I'm pretty much going to fodder off my Venusaur right here, because I have no real reason to switch out. It's going to be really low after hazards. I didn't spin them yet, did I? Yes, I did spin them. Whoa, what am I talking about? But it's still going to be at a low amount of HP, and Venusaur is pretty much worthless. So I'm going to let it die to the next Sludge Bomb, as he is able to knock me out with that. And now I'm going to go up into my Blaziken right here. I don't want to risk him predicting me not to go for the Overheat, even though, like I said, I don't have Thunder Punch, which I should have. So I'm just going to go straight for it, as Tony makes the good play and switches into his Milotic. And I want to say it right now, guys, we both haven't played Gen 4 UU in a long time, and we thought we'd be rustier than we are, but this is turning out to be a pretty good match. We both agreed. It actually took us an hour and a half to get this match done, which is why it's this length. So he's going to go for Recover as I go out into my Altaria right here. And I'm just going to go for the Roar again. Rinse and repeat of like I did before, as he is going to hit me with the Toxic. Again, I want his Registeel in, like I do get right here, which is perfect because I want to be able to wear this thing down with the entry hazards damage. So right here, I believe he's just going to lay up his stealth rocks as I'm just going to go for the roar again just to phase him out. I know roar 3 spikes damage is actually doing more than the earthquake would do to that Registeel, so I am able to roar him out into his Venusaur. Again, I don't want to take a knockoff to the face because that would not be pleasant considering this leftovers recovery is really helpful on my Altaria. So I'm actually going to switch out into my Blaziken. I'm okay with this thing getting knocked off because like I said, if I did have Thunder Punch, I could go for the Overheat, then Thunder Punch is my low tick, but he is able to knock off my Choice Scarf. That doesn't really matter at all. I'm free to either set up an Overheat or do anything like that, but I'm actually going to double switch into my Altaria, predicting him to go out into my low tick because I want to end up on top in this situation. I'm pretty sure he's just going to go for the Recover, and I just want to be able to roar him without being toxic. So he is going to go out into his Altaria as I was predicting, and now I know he's going to go for the Recover, so I'm just going to roar him out again, trying to get the Ambipom in this time because I don't want that thing threatening me with Fake Outs, and at all costs I'm going to avoid going out into my last Pokemon, my Sweeper, which is Mismagius, until his Venusaur and his Registeel at a low amount of HP. So right here, his Blaziken is in Blaze range, and he goes for the Fire Blast. That when he missed Fire Blast earlier, it didn't matter because this Blaze Fire Blast isn't doing anything to my Altaria, so that's why we both agreed that it did not matter. So right here, I'm just going to try and Life Orb stall him. He misses a Fire Blast right there. It doesn't really matter too much. Again, he's just leaving in his Blaziken to die, and I'm just trying to be at a good amount of HP since at the end of the day, he's going to die to Life Orb first, and I can always just roost off the damage. So he's going to hit me with another Fire Blast. Again, as you can see, it's a 3-hit KO depending on min-max variance damage rolls or whatever, and again, he's gonna die to the Life Orb damage right here as I am gonna be able to just go for another roost and end up at full HP. So now he's actually gonna go out into his Ambipom after my Altaria does roost up. I don't want my Mismagius. I don't want to go into my Mismagius to take the fake out, dodge the fake out, and risk him having payback or pursuit. So I leave in my Altaria right here, and I calced it really quick. Could I KO with Dragon Claw? And it turns out I can. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this double hit, and I'm actually just gonna go for the roost right here just to see how much it did because I wasn't sure how much it would do to my Altaria since I am very bulky, and it turns out that his Ambipom is carrying the Silk Scarf, so really would have wished he was carrying the leftovers, but I mean Life Orb. But in any case, he's gonna hit me with this next double hit. I'm just gonna go for the Roar to get this Ambipom out of here, as I am able to roar him out into his Milotic, which is great for me because I know he doesn't pack the Ice Beam, and the best thing he can do is Toxic me, which is great because I can just go for the Roost versus this Milotic and end up at a good amount of HP. So he is going to go for that Toxic right here, as I am going to be able to Roost up. I could have went for the Roar right there, which might have helped, but again, it doesn't really matter. My Altaria is pretty much proving its worth right here while shuffling his team and racking up the hazard damage. So again, I'm just going to go for the Roar, as he's just going to go for the Recover to get back up to full HP. That way, when he comes in the spikes, he's only going to take about 25% from that. Not 25%. Man, I really don't remember my stuff. I'm sorry, it's late and I haven't played Gen 4 in a while. So I am able to roar him out into his Ambipom, which is awesome because I'm pretty sure after the next switch-in, he would die to the spikes, or so I thought. It actually turns out that Tony runs a certain amount of HP EVs, that way spikes damage won't knock him out. So I'm going to leave in my Altaria to die right here, and now it's time to reveal my last Pokemon, which he did not know. He was questioning me the whole time. He's like, who is it? Which is my Mismagius. Now right here, I felt so stupid because I was fearing the payback or the pursuit, so I just went right for the Thunderbolt. But I should have known, based on Tony's team, that he doesn't carry either of those because he does have a Registeel and this Venusaur, which can both take on Mismagius, so there was no reason for him to carry Low Kick. So I really shouldn't have nasty platted up right here. And now his Venusaur again does carry the Power Whip, and I don't want to put him into I have to risk putting him in the Overgrow, maybe get the Parallax, and I am going to get the Parallax. That was one of many, and this one really mattered because it's pretty much ensure my victory versus Tony, because I am going to be able to knock out his Venusaur with the next Shadow Ball, and he really doesn't have anything left for my Registeel. He's still, I mean, for my Miss Magus, he does have this Registeel, but I'm just going to switch into my Blaziken, predicting either the Shadow Claw or Iron Head, either which I can take really well. He does end up going for that Shadow Claw. Going to do a decent chunk to my Blaziken, and I'm just going to overkill right here and just go for the overheat to be able to knock it out. Pretty surprised I didn't miss any overheats, but then again, who cares? It wouldn't really matter versus Milotic that I kept hitting. Yeah, I am able to knock him out with the overheat. He's going to go out into his Ambipom. Don't want to take a fake out just in case. So I'm actually going to switch into my Smagius, fully knowing that he does not have the, Pursuit or Payback, which Tony, wow, you jerk. He was on Skype saying, how much will Pursuit do? And I actually calced it for him. So I felt so stupid after doing that. But in any case, he's going to go out into his Milotic, just going to go for the T-Bolt to be able to either knock out his Ambipom or be a 2-hit KO on his Milotic on the switch-in, or so I thought. It's not actually a 2-hit KO depending on if I get high damage rolls or not. So I'm actually going to go for the nasty plot right here, knowing that this Milotic can't KO me with the Surf because of Miss Magius's great natural bulk, and he's going to hit me with the Surf. I'm going to be able to live that, and I'm going to be able to knock out his Milotic with the Thunderbolt, and that's pretty much going to be a good game because his Ambipom is going to die to Hazard. So I'm just going to say it right now, good game, Tony. I did get a lot of Parahaxes on you that did matter, so I'm really sorry about that. I'm surprised we're not as rusty as we thought we would be, and it turned out to be a pretty good match, guys. So definitely go sub Tony. He's awesome. Recently got partnered again, which is awesome. And yeah, until next time, guys, later, Project Mosh Pit.